Welcome to our next home theater tours, and today, along with DJ and myself, we have Paul Vanderwall. Welcome to the show, Paul.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hey, Paul. Nice to meet you.
And so Paul has a really cool theater, and today we're going to let him take us through it, and we'll ask him a few questions about it. It's a pretty clever way to turn a basement into what we think is a pretty nice home theater.
All right, let's get right to it, and we get a nice Paul explaining everything to us as he goes through, and then, like Ira just said, we'll talk afterwards. I got some questions for you, so let's get right to that video.
Hello, welcome to my theater / man cave. I guess to start off, I'll just kind of walk around the room just to kind of give you a kind of lay of the land, explain parts of the room. One part that makes this unique is that there is, it's not really a room. There's no drywall. Two walls, as you can see here, are cinder block. The other two walls are just curtains pretending to be walls. Behind them, this is just an open basement. Nothing more to it than that. So there's the curtains. And honestly, it really worked out really nice. And it feels homey and cozy down here. Completely light controlled, obviously, so on and so forth. The one thing that is unique, or you see here that this one is different colored because it's different material. It is much lighter. All the other ones are really quite heavy, dense curtains. And that one behind that one that's the other color was actually the one for my right surround speaker. So that is why that is that way. Few other things that I did in here. As you can see, I don't have any acoustic panels. I don't know if it would help or not for the fact that my ceiling is the way that my ceiling is. I don't have any bass traps. Maybe that would help. I don't know. But what I didn't like was, where there's some rattles. So I went through the entire basement. Like if there's windows, I figured out where there was rattles. I try to tighten everything down. Drawers, things like that. But the big culprit to all of it was stuff like this, the cold air return. So if you listen to this, it was with I ended up putting Dynamat. If you can see all around through here, there's Dynamat. Same thing over here. If you look, right there is the Dynamat. So if you listen, versus, so that really helped with the rattles between that one, and there's another one down there behind that speaker. Man, that made a huge difference with the rattles. So, as for wiring, everything down here is hardwired. Networks, speakers, everything. Pretty much, this is kind of like the umbilical cord, I guess. This is pretty much where everything goes into and comes on down one way or the other. My computer's connected to the TV. I just anything and everything is pretty much connected. So, I guess I'll go over what my speakers are. Right there is my one of two of Monolith THX Select version 1 10-inch subwoofer. I have it plugged into the receiver. I don't have it using right now. I don't feel very comfortable yet with the mini DSP and or REW. Everything I've pretty much read was, if you're going to run multiple subwoofers, that is what you need. So I have upgraded these ones, and I'll show you those in just a second. So these are just sitting here. I don't know what to do with them yet. If I'm going to sell them, keep them. I think I do want to have them run. Like I said, this is an open basement, honestly. So trying to pressurize an entire basement is it takes quite a bit of effort. All the speakers are from the Polk LSiM series. And the towers here are the 705s. I'll show you what they look like without the grill on. They're very beautiful speakers. The wood finish is gorgeous on it. And even the speaker itself just looks really nice. The center speaker is the 704C. Show you what that looks like without the grill. It's pretty nice too. I leave all the grills on most time just so they're not so distracting when you're watching a movie. Talking about watching movies, the TV is a 77-inch LG CX OLED. Love it. Looks beautiful. Obviously, it's an OLED. There's the other 705. And the other Monolith. Swing around here towards the back. My surrounds and surround backs are the 702 FX. And the Atmos speakers are an 80, I think called FXLS. Fantastic speakers. They're actually a little too good for be Atmos, but I guess the Atmos sounds good when they're used. All right, swing towards the back here. These are my subwoofers I do use. So back here are a set of THX Ultra 13-inch by Monolith. Fantastic subs. I do love them. They really rattle things. They do a very good job. The little behind that, where you can't see because it's on the bottom shelf of that shelving unit, there is a Dayton Audio SA1000, which is powering the butt kicker LFE, which is at the bottom of the middle chair. Shakes the whole couch, and it was a game changer with having a butt kicker. I just thought maybe it was a gimmick, but it really does add a kind of a really cool level of to your home theater. So, I guess before I get into all my equipment part of it, I'll go over some of my memorabilia here just real quick. Right here is the Black Lion from Voltron, and the other ones are sitting on the other sub. What's kind of cute about that, that's my son and I get to play with that. So when he comes down here, that he gets to have a collectible that's daddy. So that's pretty special to me. I'm a diehard Lions fan, so I sit down here a lot of Sundays watching them lose. So go Lions. Harmony Elite Remote is the remote of choice. Now here's the Pontiac GTO Judges, the 3 years that they were made. My absolutely favorite car, and more or less from movies, was I fell in love with the 1970 GTO Judge, which is the one there in the center, the orange one, when the entry or the starting scene for Dazed and Confused, when Sweet Emotion was playing, and they were just creeping through the parking lot with that car. Fell in love with it and have always loved it. There's the other Voltron cats. You put them all together, they make Voltron. Up here is my Harry Potter. Those are actually postcards. You gotta put in a frame. Kind of look up through here and through the rafters. I got little nicky nackies just for more stuff, I guess. Game of Thrones, things like that. Star Wars. Bunch of Funkos. The man himself, Darth Vader. Over there is Happy Father's Day that my kid put on there, and that you are a superhero. So put Superman and Batman over there with that one. And that's Batman versus Superman logo. This is my computer desk. Over here, my Marvels. Wolverine, my favorite character. Followed by Spider-Man. As a kid growing up, loved playing with G.I. Joes. So, collected some of those. More or less just for artwork down here. I said, as I added all the stuff onto the wall, it made such a difference into the audio quality. So, I guess there's multi-purpose, but I think those look awesome. Those guys, some more Funkos. Here's the Voltron in full. That's probably my favorite piece. Next one is Jurassic Park. Man, I remember watching that as a kid. Man, that was awesome. And Lord of the Rings at the very bottom. Followed by some more Lord of the Rings and Hobbit. Game of Thrones. Star Wars. More Harry Potter. And these were just stuff I figured was like non-character based stuff. I think it was cool. In the Infinity Gauntlet was a Lego piece, and you could buy an aftermarket lighting kit for it. So that's pretty cool. My kid loves it. Coming over here. I'll back up for a minute. There are my Hulkbusters. Funko. Top shelf here, kind of my bad guy collection. And we got the Justice League. Transformers, was a huge Transformers fan as a kid. Also Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The first movie, I can't remember how old it was, but it's probably the one I watched the most. I probably seriously watched that like 40 times. I loved that movie. Always loved King Kong and Godzilla movies. Terminator 2, another one. When that came out, I was a kid, and that just was amazing to see what that was. It still holds up pretty good for today. Mother Voltron, and at the very bottom was my He-Man. Come back up here. And then up here are my Funko Pops. Those are Venomized. So those are the bad guys that were Venomized. And I'll walk over there real quick. Those are the good guys that were considered Venomized. The Funko Pop type thing. Yeah. That's my memorabilia. So now I'll go into the equipment here. One thing for at least what the equipment is sitting is kind of super special is I made that with my dad. And I guess I always consider I'd rather be lucky than good was I didn't really know what dimensions to really do. I just kind of guesstimated with what I had around and so on and so forth. And man, it all worked out so perfect. I was just amazed that it worked out so good. And I'm really happy. So it's 100%. I designed it, and my dad helped me build it. So I guess for here on Time Out, that will always be a family thing because I will probably never get rid of that just for that reason. So, all right. So we'll start over here. Open that. So these are my Emotive XPA Gen 3 7 and 5 channel amps. The 7 is the one on top, and the 5 is on the bottom with an AC Infinity fan, help cool it off. And the 7, I didn't have anything to be able to fit another AC unit on it, but if you look here on the side, I have a thermostat and 2 AC Infinity 120 millimeter fans. And then up there is the sensor for the thermostat. So when it starts getting hot enough, those fans kick on and blow out the hot air. It works fantastic. I'm so happy that worked out. And I don't know if you can see or not, as I said, with the Dynamat, all around on every edge inside of these cabinets is Dynamat to help prevent any rattling through here also. Nintendo Switch. On the bottom there is the Marantz 7705 with an AC Infinity fan sitting on top of it. Love that processor. And then on this side, we also have an Xbox Series X, Super Nintendo Mini, the hub for the Harmony remote, somewhere where I'm holding my power. And if you look right there, is also another one of the sensors for my AC Infinity fans that are sitting over there. So when that gets kicked on, also starts cooling off, which with the Series X runs so darn hot, it only takes about 2 minutes for it to run, but it keeps the heat out of there. It's a little, gets a little loud, but I normally always have headsets on for playing with the console. So. And on the very bottom shelf is my Apple TV 4K, the Panasonic UB820, and the Furman, I think it's called like PMI or PFI 15, which is my power conditioner and surge protector. Seems to do just fine job. So anyhow, that is my home theater. And kind of nice with this is kid proof, nice soft closed shelves. So at least my kid won't be able to hopefully break it as he gets older. So that is my my home theater. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Paul. That's awesome. You did a great job
Thank you.
narrating and everything. And I want to be the first to say, because I know Ara's dying to say it, the woodworking man himself. I love this exposed ceiling. I love that you built your own home theater cabinet. The entire thing, it's the DIY like fantasy in this. I love it. I love everything about it. Now go ahead, Ara. Try to top that.
No, there's nothing to top. But actually, what I like about this is, like you said, you did it yourself, and it should be a great example for people. Just get out there and do it. And if at first you don't like it, you could try again. And you don't have to spend a lot of money. You just go down to Home Depot, and there's a lot of help on YouTube. And hopefully this show itself will help you figure out a way to get it done.
Yeah, it was a fun project. I was really glad I did that with my dad. It was a good time building it, and I love how it looks. So
yeah, what prompted you to do it?
Yeah,
were you just bored, or what made you decide to really go out and turn it into a room?
Well, when we first came down here, I had a bunch of black equipment, like the heat treated glass. It's a black entertainment center. There was a black couch. My desk was a dark mahogany, and it just, and at the start of COVID, it just felt blah down here. Like, it didn't make me happy coming down here, and unless I was working down here at the same time, so it just was. So I got bored, and it's like, well, I asked my dad, like, can I just build one? Because I couldn't find what I was looking for, and especially for the equipment that I wanted to put in it. So that kind of what prompted me. He's like, yeah, let's go build it. Unless it was COVID, so he had nothing going on either. So we just kind of started building it. And like I said in the video, I'm just glad I got luckier than good, because like I didn't know where to get the dimensions. Not like I didn't really research it. I went, okay, well, I know most of my equipment's this way and it's this high. And it just so happened, as I put all the equipment in there, like the fans and so on and so forth, just everything worked out so perfectly for it too. So that was just rather lucky than good, I guess. So, but yeah, that's kind of what prompted it. Was just, I wanted my room to feel lighter. Like I said, I don't want a pure dark theater room. It's just, I'm down here for more than just movie watching. It's my computer to game. It's, I come down here just to relax. I'm down here nightly, so on and so forth. And then I come down here with my boy too, which we sit and watch, kid movies, and he likes playing with all my decorations that I have and so on and so forth. So.
Not only is it lighter in the room, but it's so much warmer.
Yes. Going
from the older pictures to looking at what you've done with this room and the wood, that even your newer speakers with that, it's almost like a cherry red wood. It warms up the room.
Yeah.
Everything. And then you have the exposed ceiling overhead brings out all of that warm, the red tones in the woods and stuff. So yeah, when we watch a movie, it gets dark in there anyways.
It does.
When the lights are on, and it's beautiful. And then that really works with all the memorabilia too.
Yeah.
And that's going to be fun for your son for years and years. Hopefully he doesn't break it all on you.
He's been pretty good with it. The bathroom, most of it's actually not glued down. It's called museum wax. So that's on most the bottom of the feet, so they don't end up moving. I think it's the Game of Thrones stuff. He really likes the big blue mountain giant. So when he comes down here, he grabs the mountain giant, which he can't break. That's not even a real bobblehead. That thing's as solid as a brick. So, but he does pretty good. But yeah, and even with decorating that, now given everything down here was my own. There's meaning behind it. Growing up, something that was special, things I remember when I was a kid. But I also I purposely look for stuff with bright colors so it popped, like the G.I. Joe part. I mean, that's really bright when you come down here with all the yellows and reds. So I don't know, just to give you that nice warm feeling, so on and so forth.
And you have, I noticed you have it looks like bats in the rafters area. That I think it's like Game of Thrones or dragons or
those
something.
Those were the dragons, the 3 dragons from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So.
But the wings, it looks like, bats in the belfry.
Yep.
Like up top there. And it's a perfect place to put them. It looks so great.
Yep.
It looks so great. Let's get into this home theater table or your entertainment center that you built with your dad. Like you said, better lucky than good, but something tells me that regardless, even if it was wrong, by the looks of the make of this, you could have fixed anything that wasn't to your specifications that you wanted. But
Yeah.
how did you guys go about just doing it?
Like I said, I'm a designer for my career. So I have a computer with me with 3D modeling and so on and so forth. So I started designing everything inside a CAD system. Just go, how would that look with me? Because I mean, like I would even put my TV up there. So I actually had my room in 3D to go, yeah, that feels about right. Then I would measure the equipment to know, like, yeah, most of them are 17 inches wide. So I want 20 inches over here. And so I just kind of did my little bit of research with looking at that. Like I didn't originally even think that I was going to use the biggest amps I have. When I built the entertainment center, I didn't even have the Emotive amps at the first time. I just had their basic stuff, the much smaller profile ones. We just kind of did that, and then just packed everything up. And then the tabletop I won't take as my idea. That's on YouTube. Almost everywhere uses it. It's called butcher block top. So you just go to Home Depot and it's just there. It's unfinished. You can do whatever you want with it. And then as I saw what the measurements were that, and then I wanted in 3 large spaces all through my entertainment center, and it worked out that that butcher block had just enough overhang and everything went, well, shoot, I didn't even have to cut the butcher block. It worked perfectly as an entertainment top. So things kind of just started building off of that. And then I came home and I tried to research this because I really wanted a beautiful finish. So that's actually, I think they have 2 layers of automotive white primer. I sanded that down super flat so you have a beautiful finish. And that's 7 coats of white on it to make it just, and it's a beautiful finish. So there's no paint marks, there's no nothing. And then I just ended up cutting the back pieces out. If some of the pictures show up for that is, I just, the bottom pieces I knew was where the big equipment were that I was going to run all the other lines. And then, the top ones just had the little holes for the, all the smaller equipment that didn't need such big wires into it. And so it just kind of was a work in progress, and it just turned out as perfect as I could have ever got it. That's for sure. So.
Question: I thought it was a great idea doing the curtains to help partition the room. What made you think of doing that? And once you're in there, my guess is those curtains are helping with a little bit of the noise.
Yeah, a little bit, because it's in a basement, so I have my furnace. There's a sump pump here, and nonetheless, you hear all the water from sinks and dishwashers, so it blocks a little bit of that sound out. And honestly, I was sitting talking to someone, and I just brought the carpet that we have in here. Like the carpet's actually a throw rug. It's actually not true carpet. It was actually just something I bought off Amazon, and again, luckier than good. It literally, I didn't have to cut it. It is right from my wall to my staircase, which is on the other side of the one curtain. It fit like a glove. It was like, no, freaking, it does. Awesome. And then it's like, well, this doesn't feel like a room. I got carpet, so it's not so cold. And so I was like, I don't know, go find some heavy curtains. And so I just kind of did that and worked out. Went, well, shoot, it actually feels like almost like a room now, without having to be a room, I guess. So. And then
that's a great idea. Yeah. A lot of people have a huge basement, but then they don't want to necessarily put up drywall. This is a really cool idea to give you that separation, and it probably makes it a little more cozy than having all the equipment, the furnace and other things exposed.
Yeah, it worked out good, and it did. Obviously, I know it's not soundproofing, but it keeps the furnace is just a low hum, and it's only, my furnace is, I don't know, maybe 20 feet away from me. And you hear a little bit, but when the movie's going, you don't hear none of it. It blocks it out just enough. So
let's get into that equipment.
Yeah.
That's, that thing, your room, that has to crank so that
it does.
What do you normally listen to a movie at? Like what? I'm
at about -10 to -5. If the family's not home, I'll get up to reference, but that's getting to the, it's a while. My speakers can hold it. No, they're meant to go pretty on the loud side. That gets a little bit at reference. It's a little bit, but it goes boom, boom pretty good. So
what's directly above you?
Half of it's a bathroom. The other half would be our spare bedroom on top.
Okay. So unless you have guests.
Yes.
But if you have a guest, they're probably downstairs watching with you anyway.
Yeah. And the nice part, I do live in a 2-story house. So all the bedrooms where my wife and my kid are sleeping are all upstairs. So the bass doesn't really, if you listen to the air ducts, you'll hear it, but truthfully, I mean, at night I can be at a reference level and still, my wife will hear it. My kid never wakes up from it at all. So
Yeah. So that ceiling, I love it. Like I said before, what was your inspiration to just leave it open like that? Between that and the rest of the room is so clean. I mean, it's like going through your video, and it's like I get the benefit, Ara and I get the
yeah,
benefit of actually seeing this video, a really, really good version of it. There's not a speck of dust in your room, and it looks so good. But then even the wood up top, no cobwebs, no nothing.
no.
Everything just looks so beautiful. It's like, what was the inspiration just to leave that open? Have you seen that before, or you just thought it would look good?
Honestly, the inspiration is because it's only by the time you hit the floorboards, the rafter part of it, it's probably only about 6'3" tall. So what kind of ceiling can you put in there? I mean, even if I put the thickness of drywall on it, I mean, I'm about 5'11", and it gets short here real quick. And my brother-in-law, like 6'3", he has to be careful he doesn't hit my lights. I kept going like, what's the point of putting a ceiling in? I know for the sound part, it would be an improvement, but it just didn't seem. And then, like you said, and I was telling you, like my wife, like, well, I really like the industrial look, because originally I was going to put the curtains before the cold air return, so you wouldn't actually even see the curtains would have been, so the room would have been much shorter. But and she's like, oh, no, I want to see all that exposed metal. She liked calling it the industrial look. So
Yeah, and that's what I like about it. It's like I've been into places where they'll paint like everything up there black. Have you? Yeah, I'm sure you've seen this before, but they'll paint it all black, but then they'll put in the cross members of like a suspended ceiling, but no panels. But the cross members will be like in a white, so you get that false look. And I think that actually looks nice too. But this here, where it's all like just nice finished wood, it just, and it's actually unfinished, I know, but it just looks so good, and I think it goes so well with your speakers and everything in the room. And
I'm pretty happy with it.
So any thoughts about going bigger on the screen?
I wish I could. I want to get a projector, but I don't think with the ceiling height and the duct work and this and that. But I'm looking at it will probably be either an 85 or the 83 OLED or the new, oh God, what is the Samsung? Their mini LED, their top line, the 8K one. People were talking pretty good, the vibrancy. I was like, I would like to see that, so on and so forth. But 83 gets me basically, I can't move my speakers out any more than they already are. And then I'm going to start getting into like either my computer or unfortunately the water line going into the sewer. So I'm kind of restricted to how much bigger I can go. And it looks like 90 to 92 would be like the best, in which I don't know if they'll make one, but yeah, I'm looking at either the 85 or the 83. And the 83 OLED C2 would be pretty nice. I'd be pretty happy with that. So.
Well, I have to make my pitch that I do on every episode for an ultra short throw projector. It's amazing what you get out of those things. It pretty much is about the size of a center channel that you would just put on top of your desktop there. And you can get a 90-inch screen very easy. And because you got a light controlled, even in a full broad daylight, they look pretty good, but when it's darker, they look even better. So, I mean, consider that as well.
My only problem with it though is the distance that you need for top and bottom. Again, my ceiling's so short. Do I even have enough room to get to that size screen with the distance from the bottom and the top? I mean, I don't have a lot of wiggle room there. Otherwise, yeah, I would, because my center channel does fit actually in my entertainment center too. So it's actually, so I could slide that red in and then put the ultra short throw. But I'm really curious about how much space I need between the bottom, basically how much room I have for screen real estate, I guess. So
yeah, it's not that much, to be honest with you. I have one in I'm thinking even when my television downstairs goes out, I'm just going to take the one I have here and take that downstairs and get the latest and greatest one for the media room. So, I think there. And then, as you said, the Sony has a really good one. The OLED's really good. I think OLED in that room would just be insane. You got no light reflections or anything like that. Ooh. So,
so that's a 77.
How far away are you from that?
7 foot.
That's a great 7 feet away. Is that what you said?
It is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I got 7 foot is the best I could get with having those big subwoofers sitting behind my couch. So that's it pushed me a couple inches close.
And you have the tactile
Butt kicker.
The butt kickers. Yes, sorry. That must be just that's probably helping the rest of the house too. Those butt kickers, allowing you to really experience it without really butt kicking the rest of the house.
Yeah. I love it. Like, one of my favorite scenes would be the first battle scene in Hacksaw Ridge. When I listen to that, you turn off the lights, I'd be hard pressed for you not thinking that you're there, because when like the explosions are going off with the grenade launchers, my couch shakes. I mean, it's one thing for the bass, but actually to have that true tactile, another one like the John Wick scene on John Wick 2 when they're in the tunnel and the shotgun they finally get out. The bass is terrific, but when you just turn on the butt kicker, it just brings that to a whole different level of enjoyment. It's like, oh my God, that's like a shotgun truthfully going off. I mean, there's kick to it. They're not just the bass, it's kick.
Yeah.
And unless I have a hard time, I'm trying to pressurize it.
Yeah, until you experience it, a lot of people don't understand that it's more than just like a vibration. It actually takes it to another level. In fact, you can lower your subwoofer if you want. Let's say it's late at night, you can lower your subwoofer and let the butt kickers take over, and you still get a lot of that great experience.
Yeah, because on the subwoofers, I'm probably about halfway on the gain. On the butt kicker, I'm probably at, an eighth on what the amp is. It's just enough to give you that nice little extra that the subwoofer just can't quite get down to. So it just filled in a gap, which I thought maybe it was a gimmick. I'll never live without one again.
Wow.
I love
that. Awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome.
Totally agree.
All right, Ari, you got anything else?
Nope, I don't. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, Paul, this was awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. And thanks for, and just so you guys know, too, thank you for introducing me to your guys' podcast, too. I used to not listen to any podcast.
Oh.
I'm listening to your guys' podcast.
Very cool.
Thank you. I look forward to listening to you when you guys
so
have them on.
Nice.
So.
Look at that, Paul promoting us. We don't even do that enough, Ira. We always do the show, and then we're like, bye. We don't tell anybody you can see us elsewhere. We're just like, thank you for tuning in.
We don't
Gotta
tell
go.
anyone to like and subscribe. None of that stuff. We're such rookies.
No, I know.
The first words out of every professional YouTuber is like and subscribe, and we're like, maybe every third episode we'll. Hey, you know what? If you like the show, give us a thumbs up
like
and subscribe.
Yeah, I think we were both raised on the idea of it's better left to other people say it, but that doesn't work in podcasts.
It doesn't work. No.
So, on that note, please, if you like what you see and hear, subscribe, check us out. You can check Ara out at HT Guys Podcast. You can check me out at Brightside Home Theater. And you can check Paul out. Well, we just did check Paul out. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
This has been a lot of fun. Another original theater, Ara. That's a hard thing to say. Another original theater, Ara. Woo. Thank you very much. And until next time. I don't know. I usually say don't go push play.
Yeah, we don't have any catchphrases or anything.
No,
we're still figuring it out. So yeah, go push play. We'll see you next time. Whatever it takes.
See you next time. Hey, we're having fun. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.